Good evening, Rollers, and welcome to episode 28 of Holy Rollerz, a 4th edition D&D clerical campaign where each of the characters can channel divinity and surrender is never an option.
No.
Obviously.
No.
So we are working on a book that will be on DM's Guild, and you're going to love it. It's really great, and a website. Once the website's up, then we will post some things from the book so that you, just to, whet your appetite, so you'll want to check it out on DM's Guild. Yep. For our lore this week, I wanted to talk about one more knightly order, the Heartseekers. The character I play, Lachlan, intends to join the Heartseekers, and so they are another one of those, one of the knightly orders in the Adari Republic, and they travel the length of the whole continent, the Eastlands, and beyond, fighting to preserve beautiful places and protect the love in mortals' hearts towards one another. Seekers are frequently called into tense negotiations where hostility is a possible outcome, and their stable, calming presence often prevents such situations from escalating. Seekers are also called into service whenever the truth of some local problem is being obfuscated by some external force, particularly a divine or diabolical force. Stories abound within the Adari Republic of their ability to discern truth from lie, and the Order is renowned for ability to see past surface problems to the true concern. I wanted to talk about them because although Lachlan sometimes is the joke for being the paladin of the goddess of love and beauty, Sindel is also the goddess of truth and justice, and so we can't look past those things either. They do have their own knightly order.
No, I mean, I'm sure some of her priests look past those things, but but so, you know what? That's okay if their discipleship is a work in progress.
So you're saying that if Lachlan lies, his nose grows longer?
Not his nose. Never mind.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining.
We are no longer a family show.
Yeah. It is.
All right, so a quick recap. Last time on Holy Rollerz, the clerics engaged in a brutal and futile battle with Lady Everine Cassian and some bounty hunters.
And why was it futile? Because the DM... Never mind. Never mind. I'm sure it had nothing to do with...
falling, healing, the party had all fallen except for Gizik. And Gizik possessed Lady Everine's horse, compelling it to run into a barbed net. But his victory was short-lived, and he chose to go down swinging as opposed to surrender or running away. So the clerics woke up inside a warehouse, bound and gagged. Lady Everine left the warehouse with some final insults, leaving the group in the hands of a man with skin as red as the worst sunburn ever. And that is where we pick up, folks.
Right.
Bound and gagged.
So who wakes up first?
It's funny you should ask that, because it is the girl, which is Sister Fadaver.
The girl. The girl. And I should probably mention that JT will be joining us in just a little bit.
Yes.
Not that you saying the girl made me think of JT. It just he'll be joining us very shortly. He has some church meetings that he is attending because apparently he couldn't tell his church leaders that he was busy playing a pagan vampire priest. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. I question that dedication. But anyway.
You can always just say, hey, I have a prior commitment.
Yeah. So she wakes up first. And she's gagged.
Mm-hmm. She is indeed gagged.
Okay. And, I think the first thing that she'll do if she wakes up and she's gagged is she will look around and see what she can see. Are we still in the same room? Where are we?
We're in a warehouse, and I just sent to you guys in chat, if you'll post that on Twitter, a link to the map of where we are.
Okay. So, well, first things first, there are 3 people in chat tonight. So for those 3 people in chat, there's a link to the map that we are using this evening. Are we currently in this location, or are we just going to wind up there?
No, we are in this location. Yep, I was just gonna put us where we are.
So we are in this location. Okay.
We are in this location. We are in squares D through H of line 3. So
Okay.
right up at the top, bound and up against these crates. So we will put Gizik in D, and Duriel in E, Lachlan in F, Sister Fadaver in C, and Morocon in G.
Okay.
Like so.
Alrighty.
Fagon.
Fagon, yes.
Fagon.
And,
Okay. Thank you, man. We are in the Fagon.
when you wake up, Lady Everine is the only one there, and she insulted. She had made the comment that she would oversee when things were finished with the Inquisitor, she would oversee Sister Fadaver's rehabilitation as a true devotee of Bestera.
Okay.
And I believe you said slut through the gag.
You don't know that. Don't assume that she said that.
Okay.
But I will say what came out with what. So that's what came out. Anyway. So is she still there?
Well, she's there when you wake up.
Okay.
If you're trying to engage her, she's waiting for all of us to awaken. So you are the first to wake up, but only for a few seconds.
Okay, the first thing Sister Fadaver does is check. So Gizik is next to her, right?
Right.
So the first thing she does is check to make sure she's not touching Gizik. Or more accurately, that he's not touching her.
Settings.
Nope. He's not.
Okay.
Yeah, you can keep your 2 inches of space. between
Okay,
you.
yeah. Well, she worms her way a little bit further away from him, if there's any danger of touching him. And then Lady Everine is there. Where is she standing or sitting?
She is standing at E11.
And for the people who aren't looking at the map, describe what this room is like. Are we in a stable?
Yes.
Where are we?
We're in a giant warehouse that
Okay.
is well, let's see, count it. It's about 100 feet wide
Uh-huh.
by about 150 feet, whatever 26 times 5 is, feet long. And the piles of stacks of giant crates are in there. Some are 1 square high, so roughly 4 or 5 feet high, and some go all the way as tall as 15 feet.
Uh-huh.
Around the edge, around the perimeter, just above that 15-foot mark, is a catwalk that goes around the outside edge of this place and across the center line. There's a large sliding door that is on that west side with a set of tracks so that mining carts could actually be pushed in on those tracks.
We're in a warehouse with mining tracks?
Yeah, it's just for ease of hauling stuff. You could use it for wheelbarrows or anything that you want to just, it's just like rails that it could land on. There's a platform in the southwest corner. You can see the stairs that go up to that platform about 15, 16 feet up, and that's where there's this lovely window that overlooks the warehouse and a door that leads outside and down these stairs out.
Not that I could see that from the window, right? The window's not that big, is it?
The window's pretty big. If you were from where you are, there are those crates in the way, about halfway there. So you can see the window, but you can't really see up to see the window.
That's all I need to know. Where is Lady Everine in the room? Is she in the room with us?
Yes. When you wake up, she's in E11.
All right. So she is in E11. So she's a few feet away from us. Is she watching us?
She is. She's just kind of rocking back and forth on her big old huge maul, waiting for everybody to wake up.
All right. Sister Fadaver closes her eyes and says a silent prayer to Bestera, and she says, "Dear Holy Mother of Healing," all of this in her head. She says, "I acknowledge your will in allowing us to be captured. I am assuming that you were the only God who was trying to help, and I can understand how the lack of faith of those around me has contributed towards this momentary defeat.
Ugh.
Is Morocon sensing this?
I'm so glad this is in your head.
Okay, and she says, "Dear lady, grant me the courage to break these bonds." Like Nephi, who I have no idea who that. Anyway, excuse me, like Saint Ophelia or something. Anyway, she says, "Please grant me the strength to break these bonds, and if not, then please grant me the wisdom to find a way to escape capture. And if not, please at least protect me from the sins of my companions that are no doubt dragging us all down to a gulf of misery and woe."
That sound you're hearing right now are Morocon's eyes rolling.
You're not in my head. You can't read my self-righteous.
So I'm gonna roll to see who wakes up next. Okay,
Amen.
The next one who wakes up as you're finishing your prayer is Lachlan, and he stirs, and he looks around, and he's actually gonna start bumping into Morocon. And Morocon, you hear in your head, you wake up to Lachlan's voice in your head saying, "Wake up! We're captured!" If someone can yell in your head, that's what he's doing.
Of course we are.
And then he projects it to the others, saying, "Anybody else awake? Is anybody else awake?" Including Sister Fodder.
Okay.
Oh.
So he yells when I said, she says, "Yes, I'm awake, and there's no need to yell. If we're going to get out of this, cool heads and wisdom must prevail. Not lust and passion."
Out of curiosity, because I don't have the sheet in front of me, who's the god of anger and rage?
Grumsh, right? The orc god.
Yeah.
That's the one we use in our campaign. He's the god of rage. Grumsh One Eye.
That's probably who I'm contemplating calling upon at the moment.
Okay. Ooh, we're gonna switch religions. That's cool.
I don't know how Hamid's gonna feel if you start calling on Grummish.
Yeah.
He's not a very nice guy.
Yeah, he's not. What if he actually shows up? Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have Sister Fodder. Whoa. Okay.
So Lachlan says he opens his eyes and looks at her, and he's like, "Oh, she's still here." But he's saying this in his head to the group. Any ideas of how we're gonna get out of this? Oh, I'm gonna close my eyes. I can't stand to look at her.
Okay. She says, Sister Fodder thinks at you, Lachlan. She says, "Well, first things first, I'm going to test my bonds. What kind of check do I need to do that? A dexterity check or a strength check or a sexterity?"
Either one. Yep.
Either one. All right. Well, I'm going to make a strength check here. That's a glorious 5.
You feel no give whatsoever.
Okay. All right. I try to move my bands down to her chastity belt and start sawing on the edge of it.
And her chastity belt has like sharp edges.
I'm sure it does. Anything?
It does chafe. So
yeah,
Has
no.
teeth.
Yeah, she does. Oh boy. Good night, everybody. There's not. Yeah. I'm sure it doesn't actually. She doesn't actually have a chastity belt. Maybe. But I think she's just trying to test them to see how loose they are. Are they really tight?
They're really tight. Yeah.
And are they ropes or are they
almost painfully tight? Painfully tight. Yeah, they're ropes, but they feel like they're not like just cheap hemp. They're really strong, like a thick silk rope.
Yeah, I got you. She's rich, so she can afford the best. Yeah, I'm sure.
After stirring awake, I'll see Lady Horseface, and I'm going to test my bonds as well. What do I'm just going to do a strength check, I guess.
Yep. Acrobatics or athletics is the check to escape.
Athletics?
You can use athletics.
Okay. What does a dirty 20 get me?
you push against them enough to where they're a little less uncomfortable. Like it's not as restrictive to your breathing, but you can feel that it's not going to come out without something.
Okay.
A lot beefier.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna think at Lachlan, who hopefully can hear me, and say, "Can the dragon breathe fire on the ropes and possibly weaken them?"
He's gagged, so it could burn the gag, but that could possibly burn all across his face. And
Right.
as we discovered, he's not resistant to fire.
Is that
Well-
what Lachlan says back to her?
Well, he says he just says maybe if he wants to burn his face off.
Okay.
Or
so-
burn you, because I can hear this.
Well, no, you can't. Lachlan can only talk to one person at a time.
I can only
right?
talk. Yeah, well, I
Okay.
can talk to more people, but you can only talk to me. You can't talk to
Okay.
each other. Sorry, I don't have that.
Yeah.
And say
But you,
this isn't
so-
a fine scalpel. Like it's it's like a sledgehammer of flame. So I suppose I could try, but
Okay, she'll
Um,
think something else. She'll think at Lachlan. All right. Well, now I normally wouldn't suggest that we engage in evil sorcery, but maybe Gizik has some kind of spell that he can use that isn't entirely sourced from demons that could get us out.
So am I awake yet?
yeah, you're awake, and Lachlan says, "Hey, Gizik," but he'll say this to everybody. Sister Faudever thinks you have some demonic magic that she'd like to see you use to get us out of this. So, when eyes are open, the only one we're still waiting on sleeping is the undead who shouldn't need to sleep, Anduriel, and he's sitting right between Gizik and Lachlan, and we're both bumping him, but he got hammered. I mean, really, he not hammered in the good way, but hammered in the beat to down. So
Jack Daniels didn't hammer.
Yeah.
No. So she looks up and she just kind of, Lady Evering looks out and she's just, she can tell, the struggling against the bonds.
Yeah.
She says, "It won't do you any good, you lizard spy heathen."
I'm just going to glare at her. I can't really say anything that's intelligible.
She's a little too far away, or Lachlan would be getting in her head too.
All right. So Sister Faudever looks at her and says,
"You said it's so graceful that I can't speak right now."
and that's pretty much all she says.
So yeah, Lady Evering says, you hear a door open, and that bright red skinned man. Now, when I say red skin, it's not like he looks like Hellboy. Okay,
Mhm.
He looks like a man, but he looks like a man who's got such a bad sunburn, that it's actually started to boil on his face a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Someone body glove him.
yeah. Now he has across his back a big old great sword. Okay, and he
Do
comes
we have
walking
our
down.
equipment? Sorry to interrupt you. Do we have our equipment strapped to us, or has it been taken?
No, it's been taken. You see it sitting on the crates about let's see. It would be, you see some of it on the floor in square E14 and some stuff resting on the crate. You would imagine, because it's kind of poking out, that the crate that's in D14. So you see our stuff over there. You still have your armor, but there's no weapons and whatnot. Have been removed. Hey! And Anduriel wakes up.
And Duriel was pretending to be asleep.
Hello.
Congratulations. We're tied up in a warehouse, but the good news is that I'm not touching Gizik.
Oh, that's where we're at so far. That's great.
Well, we've
You're
also
in You're in square E3, Anduriel.
E3.
Yeah.
We've also tested our bonds, and Sister Fadaver suggested that Morokhan should try to breathe fire and break his bonds.
Is this the map?
Yes, sirree. It's
All
a
right.
big old warehouse. So
Cool.
she sees that everybody's awake, and she throws out her insults. The door, you hear the door close, and the red-skinned man comes walking down the stairs with a really big smile on his face, like almost Joker-like, just huge smile. And he comes over. Lady Everine, purposely steps away from him, and she says, "Do your work, Inquisitor. Make sure the sister is mine afterwards." And you see her walk up those stairs on the south side of the place and exit through the door.
Sister Fadaver is just staring daggers at her. Every step she takes, she's like reciting a different scripture in her head, like "Thou shalt not be all of the things."
So this guy, as he walks past the equipment, he actually picks up Sister Fadaver's sword, and you see him kind of heft it, and then look at it, and then just chuck it on the floor, and kind of caress the hilt of his own sword as he walks forward.
He throws my sword on the floor.
Yeah, test it out, see if it's better than his. He decided it wasn't. So,
it's a little too big for him.
So he walks forward, and as he comes forward, you see that he holds out his hand, and it starts to, it's like steam starts to come off of his hand. You can tell it's very hot, and he pulls out a small curved dagger. It doesn't look like a very good fighting weapon, but more like something you use to gut a fish or something. And he walks up and starts on his right with Morokhan. And as he goes past Morokhan, he actually takes his finger and rubs it up the bottom of your chin, and you feel and smell your flesh burning, your dragony scales burn.
As I feel it burning, can I drop my chin down to maybe burn off the gag a bit?
You start to go and yeah, he'll pull away fast. You can tell he's just giving you the little love caress. But he goes around, and then you see from what look like just hands and little claws start to come out, and he scratches you across the face. Like, none of that. And he then he walks. The next one is Lachlan, and
not the moneymaker.
He takes that little curved knife, and he just lops off a tuft of Lachlan's hair. So he's got this weird little gouge out of his hair.
He messed up your hair.
And Lachlan screams in his mind, but everybody hears it. He says, "I am going to kill you." This is not okay. You don't mess with this.
Yeah. Okay.
So he moves on to Anduriel, and he
Does
says,
healing word fix hair, by the way?
there might be some growing back. But he walks past Anduriel, and he's got this grin the whole time, and kind of chuckles as he's doing this. He walks up to Anduriel, and he says, "Such a pretty face." And he takes his hand, and he does like a face palm on you, and leaves a hand burn mark across your face. He says, "Better."
And Duriel is murdering him with his eyes right now. Just murdering him.
He goes up past Gizik, and he says, "You're ugly enough already."
And he just walks past.
He just goes yoink, right in the forehead, like, and then he says, "Ooh," when he gets to Sister Fadavere, and he pulls her cowl back, like to show her.
He pulled her habit off.
Yep, he did. He pulled it off, and he says, "Well, sister, you're gonna be a fun one," and he kisses you on the forehead, and it burns.
Ew.
Yeah. And then
can I headbutt him? Can I try to headbutt him?
Yeah, sure.
I want to try to headbutt him. What do I need? Do I just make an attack roll? Is he expecting it, or
just versus his reflex? Yeah.
All right. All right. I rolled a 10, so if I add half my level, that's 12 plus my strength is 16.
That's a hit.
Okay.
So roll on die 4.
Boom.
Sorry. There we go. 5 points of damage.
Yeah, you crack his nose. I mean, like and he looks back, and he, at first you think he's gonna get mad, and then he just tips his head back and howls with laughter. Like you've just, and he's like, "I like some feisty."
Oh, jeez.
Is his nose bleeding by chance?
You don't see that. You more to see the crack. But I will tell you, anybody trained in religion can make a knowledge check. Make a religion check.
Well, okay then.
Ooh, that would be a 30.
A 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
22.
11.
14.
I
Okay.
win.
So, sorry, Gizik and Anduriel, you just think he's got a bad sunburn. Maybe he's a sorcerer of some kind. But Sister Fadavere actually wrote a paper on this guy, like this exact guy.
A dissertation.
Yeah.
No, you recognize this as a seared devil. Now he's in something of a disguise. He doesn't look like, you don't look at him and be like, that's a devil. But the way he's using his hands, the smell of his breath, as he get close, you almost feel you're almost choking on ashes as he's that close to you.
That in my divine sense is probably going crazy right now.
Yeah, it's yeah. So he is a seared devil,
Okay.
and you know that they tend to be tricksters a little bit. Not tricksters the same way that the Fae are, but just they're sneaky. So if he's an inquisitor, he's not any kind of inquisitor that you've ever heard of.
Does he have any weaknesses as a seared devil that I would know about? Like, does he suffer damage from like radiance or from holy water or from baths or something?
No, you know that the fire is going to have a limited effect on them, and you would also know that they're not very fast speed wise. They're they're more. That's why they're more the kind of sneak around.
I'm telling you, he has a weakness for my fists.
Okay.
So
all right, she thinks that at Lachlan. She thinks to Lachlan, she says, it's a seared devil. She says, he's going to have resistance to fire to some extent. And then she just kind of launches off and she says, and they're slow, weighed down by the weight of their sins.
Okay, Lachlan just says to everybody, don't use fire, check. And he comes back over to Sister Fadavere and he's like, I want to hear you, lady. And he takes and pulls off your gag. And he says, go on, scream.
Okay. She takes one look at him, does not break from her look, and she says, there is no wound that cannot be healed. There is no place without hope. And she launches into the litany of mercy, and she just recites the prayer calmly and dispassionately, or rather with fervor, but with calm devotion in his face.
He says, I'll show you a wound that can't be healed. So he's getting a little like excited, and you hear the door slam again, and in walks another man. He has salt and pepper hair, a very nice leather vest, hands that are like meaty hands, not like gorilla hands or something, but you can tell they are they've done a lot of work. These are not clerical hands. These are workman's hands. But maybe in his late 50s, but has managed to stay very, very fit, and a large, well-groomed mustache. You look at him, and he bears on his vest. You see the symbol of the Miners Guild, and he says, "Now, you'll get your fun later." And looks across and he says, Well, the thorns in Waterford's side. Isn't it an amusing irony that it should be one devoted to Bestera who delivers you to the devil, to be purged of evil? You know, I find your doggedness refreshing. Everything here has been so easy. Cripple trade hardly took an effort. So many of you mortals are so corruptible, so willing to believe anyone who tells you what you want to hear. Give the enemy a face like the Redcaps, and they ignore the real enemy staring back them in the mirror. Little nudges are all it takes to get you to believe a whopper. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret, since your souls are as good as mine anyway. And as he says that, you see him like kind of loom forward, and spectral chains lance out from him all around him. Like you're thinking, if I were standing next to him, those suckers would be grabbing out at me.
All right, before he can continue, Sister Faudever thinks at Lachlan, quickly, he's monologuing. I'll keep him as busy as I possibly can. Break your bonds, try something, anything. Tell the rest of them. And then she says, you'll let us in on a little secret. I could sense your unholy stink from across the room. What good do you think you'll do here, devil? The worshippers of the goddess Bestera will cast you out of this land within a matter of days, I would imagine. How do you think you've had any impact here upon the people? Your evil will only strengthen our faith.
He says, the just blades are scattered. Your Night Lord is, well, he's a disaster. On Dante's Dead, I believe there's a little halfling. Was he the one you were hoping would save the day? He's dead. Yeah, we've done fairly well here, and you know what? All the ore and metal that has been mined, it isn't just waiting in warehouses to be shipped by the stupid whatever the guild is, the Teamsters. Much of it has already been secreted away for other plans already in motion. And I tell you what, I'm going to let you ask me something. I just love when the heroes of the day know the answers to the questions right before they die. What would you like to know?
She says, why are you doing all of this?
Can someone please ungag me? Orbicon's trying desperately to chew through his gag.
Can't he? Doesn't he have fangs?
I've got teeth.
Are you a carnivore?
Travers looks at the Seared devil and he says, help the poor dragonborn before he bites his own tongue. and he comes over and very, very unpleasantly rips it out of your mouth, and just kind of goes through and does the same to everybody. Well, ask your questions, heroes. Your souls are looking so delicious.
My apologies. I'm a little hard of hearing. Can you come a little closer and tell me a little bit louder?
So what is the nature of our bonds here? Are they like they're chains, and then
they're ropes.
They're ropes?
Like strong silk ropes.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to buy you guys a little bit of a distraction so you can try to break free. I'm gonna communicate that to Lachlan.
So Lachlan shouts out to everybody, Morokana and Sister Fadaver are trying to do a distraction so that we can all escape right in front of their eyes and be so secretive as we bust out of the unbreakable ropes.
I don't think secret is
unbreakable. I thought you said they were strong, not unbreakable.
He says, well, they're unbreakable to me.
Well, Andariel's going to say, please tell our superhero friends that we don't need a distraction. We need to escape. So we need to try to break these bonds. That's all. Let him run his mouth. He seems to have a whole thing prepared. Let him go through his monologue and explain his evil plan. Meanwhile, we need to try and get out of these bonds. Does anyone have any powers that could help us in that?
All right, Sister Fadaver thinks that Lachlan. Oh, Anduriel's awake. Can't he turn into a bat?
Sister Fadaver wants you to turn into a bat and fly away.
He out loud says, I wish I was still gagged.
Is he still gagged?
No.
I thought you took my gag away.
No. Yep. Travers says, no questions. Not a one.
I have questions. So many questions. What was the last sin you committed?
He looks at her, and he actually finds that a little bit of a funny question. He says, lust.
So Lachlan's like, no, that doesn't sound so bad.
The Seared Devil walks away from us, and he goes over and whispers something to Travers. And it's too hard to hear. And Travers looks like he starts going. He says, that is a wonderful, wonderful idea. You people are in for such a treat.
So what would it take to break a rope?
What?
Is this silk rope, or is it a different kind of rope?
As far as you can tell, it is a silk rope.
I'd like to test it.
So is that like DC 24 to break?
You do the very best you can.
Good, because I just rolled a 22.
They applied an alchemical property to it that's going to make it a little more challenging than that. But
well, I didn't even get that, so.
I rolled a 24. I was just doing a strength check, I'm just trying to test the bonds and see what we got.
You feel them because they were tight enough that it was like hard to breathe. You can pull them enough that you don't feel quite as uncomfortable, but there's not much give.
Okay.
So he says it'll be twilight soon. The perfect time to try my new toy. You are so blessed to be the first to feel it. So say your little prayers, I'll be back before you know it. And he turns and kind of, there's not quite skips out of the room, but there's a spring in his step as he walks past. And the Seared Devil pulls his sword off his back and he walks over to Sister Fadaver and he gets to where the sword is right in front of her, and he just starts like trying to see if he can cut off some of her hairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't break eye contact with him if he's looking at her, and she launches back into the litany of mercy and just continues to say the prayer as he cuts off her hair. And then she pauses between bursts of the hair and she says, I am more than my body. You foul denizen of the hells.
Okay, Sister
What
Fadaver,
did you do to wind up there?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Well, I rolled a mighty 2. So,
Mighty
unless
2.
you're granting advantage, I have noticed the lock of hair that he dropped on
You are so focused on your litany and on this guy that you don't notice it for a moment. And then so you actually take 1 point of damage.
Ow.
Just one. As a moment later, you feel your finger, something has just pricked your finger. That startles your attention.
Well, she's not trained in bluff, and it's also not in her nature. So I think if something pricked her in the middle of her prayer, she'll say, "There is no wrong that cannot be righted."
So, with your attention now to your bleeding finger, you feel that something is weakening the ropes around your hands and in the back behind you.
Mice from Narnia.
Well, not quite that mouse.
Well, what is it, Stuart Little? I mean, what is it? Garfield? Who's all right?
Reaper cheap.
It's Reaper
Okay.
Cheap. Yeah.
You also hear a voice that sounds very much mousy, but it's a clear voice in common that says be ready. Okay, but it's like be ready.
She assumes that it's a Bestaran mouse.
Church mouse.
It's a church mouse. It's that little Reverend mouse from the Robin Hood animal movie. That's who she believes it is. And she's unhelped, once again, not in her nature to bluff, and also in her nature to gloat. She looks up at him and starts saying the prayer kind of smugly. There's no wrong that cannot be righted, but I'm going to try
You need to make a bluff check.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Do I have disadvantage?
No.
Well, I am putting this green one to bed because he is naughty. That is a great big whopping 6.
Boy.
So your smugness is just a little. You're just not very. Your poker face has just completely fallen. With your hair uncovered, you're just so exposed. And this Seared devil looks at you because he's messing with your hair, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on back there?" And you have like one action you could do before he's going to.
Could
I'm
one of us distract him? Could one of us like shout out something like antagonizing and distract him from her? So Andorio was going to say, "Oi, servant. Yes, you. Does your master give you permission to test yourself against a superior warrior? I mean, myself, the dragon. I don't know how familiar you are with the chain demon that was sent against us, but I believe we handled him by, what was it, decapitation? Or was it some such? I don't know. I forget. But yes, do you have permission, servant, to face one of us?
I'll take care of you soon enough, pretty one. Now, what are you doing, girl?
Will you do that? Oh, please come now. Oh, do you have to ask for permission from your master? Do you think for yourself? Is that something you can do?
Okay, can I make a knowledge religion check to see if I can come up with a demeaning fact about devils?
Sure.
Okay, that's a 21. Can I
There
come
we
up
go.
with something embarrassing? Like, I heard that Seared devils lose their testosterone when they hit the other side, or I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
Is it true what they say about you and the succubus, that you really have to lick their outfits clean? Like
you think of something and you feel a little guilty for thinking it, and as you say it, you're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna have to do
Repent.
some." Yeah, there's. But you say it anyway, and he looks with the sword. He turns it back to the hilt side, and he's coming at you. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try to break my bonds, or get up, or test the brokenness. So,
Okay.
tell me what to do. What do I do? Roll what?
Yep. Just roll athletics or acrobatics.
Okay, I'm trained in athletics. That's a 21.
Yeah. They have been so weakened that you are able to just go pop and
Okay.
hands free. You're still on the ground, but the hilt is like 6 inches from you. You could grab it. You could hit him. What do you want to do?
Okay, I need to know how I'm bound. Are only my hands free, or is it the whole deal? Was I trussed up like a turkey, or
You were trussed up like a turkey, and you are. But the mouse has bitten through cord after cord, like it's been split across the back.
okay? Let's see. And I have time for one action, or that was
One
my action.
Yep. He's not expecting this, so he is surprised. I mean, he might be looking right at you, but there.
Is there the possibility that I could grab for his sword?
Yeah.
Okay,
Take that.
I'm gonna try to grab his sword or grab onto it, and or maybe try to grab his sword and punch him in the face with it, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Do I make an attack roll? How do you want me to?
Yep. Make an attack roll. If you hit, then we'll do a opposed checks.
Well, that's not fabulous. It's only a 14
That's all you need
to grab it. Okay,
to grab it. Now it's opposed checks. He has a whopping +2.
I have an 18 strength. It's just a strength check then?
Yep. Uh-huh.
All right, so that is 15, 16, 17.
Okay, and he got a 10. So roll the hilt. I'm going to say his hilt. You're going to slam him in the hilt with a 1d6 plus. It's a +2 weapon, so 1d6 +2 plus your strength.
Oh, I rolled a 6. That's 12 points of damage with his own weapon.
Now that causes him to bleed.
Okay.
You take it and you shove it right up into his chin, and like he bites his tongue, and like a piece of it falls out, and he's bleeding all over. He's so shocked at this turn of events.
Okay. She stands up after she slams him, and she says, "You're going to hell again."
So roll initiative.
All of us?
All of you, yes.
Oy. Well, let's see what we can do.
My gosh, I actually just rolled the 1d10, which I haven't used to roll initiative since I was like 8 years old playing the basic D&D set. I don't know what happened. I'm channeling the past.
And you probably still got better than me.
I got a 9, my friend, once I
All
actually
right.
rolled.
I have an 8.
17.
What is happening, people?
Well, I'm bound, so I'm
I
blaming
got his
it on-
sword away from him,
Bound.
and Church broke my bonds. I think
That's
we
true.
were
You
doing
did
just
good.
fine.
I got 27.
27.
Hey, one of us rolled well.
So he got a 20.
Of course
And-
he did.
The mouse got a 29. So
The mouse?
the mouse, yes.
What's a mouse about
So-
that?
From
Is he going to want a cookie? How bad is this going to get?
sliding into square B2, right at the base of that brown mark is a ladder that goes up to the catwalk, is the old man who was fighting alongside Lady Everine with the big old huge crossbow. Okay.
The wizard? The one who
Yep.
was casting spells and crap on her to make her look... Ooh, he is so on my list.
Oh, yes.
So he appears right there, and he is going to use. Well, let's see. He's gonna wait to use that. He's actually going to. The Seared Devil is in C4.
C4.
Yeah, he is. Is the Guildmaster and Lady Everine both gone at this
They're
point?
they're both not here right now. All right. He is going to fire his bow at the Seared Devil.
He's firing his bow at the devil?
At the devil?
At the devil, yes.
A double agent.
And he hits
Intrigue.
and does 13 points of damage, bloodying the devil. And then he is going to, with his his minor was, he already did his minor. He shoots, and then he's going to, with his move action, he teleports to square E4. Okay.
Wait a second.
With his action point, he pulls out a dagger, and he goes like this, and he's like, gotta be quick, and he slashes down the down the bonds of Gizik, and he cuts Gizik free.
All right.
I thought he was going to cut himself and bleed on Anduriel. I was like, oh.
Oh no, he doesn't. Okay, so that would be the turncoat. Anduriel, you're up.
Well, I'm bound. I suppose I can do a strength check again, try to break the bonds, but mostly just ready in action, probably.
Yeah, or delay if someone else can help you.
Can you delay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll delay. Because the guy's standing right in front of me, and Anduriel's kind of taking this all and going, wait, what? What is happening? And then, noticing that the devil's bloodied, he starts to kind of, he's going to try and control himself because he's starting to feel a little bit of that pull towards the devil again. So yeah, I'll delay my turn.
Did you say the devil is bloodied?
He is bloodied. Yeah.
Oh, then don't you have to make a check to delay your turn?
What is he gonna do?
If he moves near me, yes. But if he's just in a square and I can see him,
I don't have the paper in front of me, so I'm assuming that. When
a creature moves through your square,
I gotcha.
or a square you threaten, yeah.
Cool.
So the Seared Devil, it's his turn. He's looking around like, what the heck is going on here? This guy came out of nowhere, and you see him kind of go like this, and his fists turn like completely light on fire, and he goes to throttle Sister Faudebear, and he says, "I'm taking you with me." And he rolls 23 versus AC.
Well, I can see that the.
Oh, Ryan's back.
Actually, weren't we going to have Jeff roll all of his attacks tonight?
Oh yeah, sure. Where's my D10?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
You take 10 points of fire damage, and you're marked by the devil. So he grabs a hold of your face.
He's touching me?
Oh yes, and you manage to shake him off, but not before your flesh starts to burn, right on the sides of your face like this.
Okay, she starts screaming, not because she's being burned, but because he's touching her.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah, but he's not a man; he's a devil, so it should be fine.
yeah. She does that Willy Wonka move. Somebody's touching me.
All right, let's see, Morocon, you're up.
I'm still bound, right?
Right,
Okay.
but you're not gagged.
Right.
You don't
Okay.
mind burning yourself. You could try to burn.
Yeah, that's. I don't see that happening. So I'm going to do a strength check and try to break free. Is it just it's an athletics?
It's athletics.
Right? Okay. 23
Sorry.
from the little bit looser from before.
We're getting there,
okay.
Morocon. We're getting there.
Hey there, lobster. I could use a hand over here, if you wouldn't mind, kind sir. I've got a bit of an itch on the end of my nose. Could
All
you
right.
come scratch it for me?
Lachlan, he's going to bound. He can still take an attack. He just can't get any kind of bonus from his implement. So he starts to sing like, whoa, but it's just louder and louder right at that guy and the Seared Devil, and that is a 29 versus Will. That's a hit. So he's going to take 10 thunder damage and be pushed away. Right before he's pushed, Sister Faudebear can make a free melee basic attack.
Ooh, with his implement. See, my normal sword is only a +1. So I'm going to hurt him. I have a +11. What's his AC?
His AC is 19.
Okay, that is a 2. So that's a 13. And his AC is what?
19.
So if I use Memory of 1,000 Lifetimes, I have to roll a 6. which just doesn't seem like a wise idea. So you scream, and he moves past, and she's not expecting it, and she does the whole whack-a-mole sword swing, just and can't seem to connect.
Well, it's not your weapon, It's like wearing somebody else's underwear. Just doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah. Well, is it a diabolical weapon too? Because she's wielding it.
No. In fact, you don't feel anything bad about the weapon at all.
Well, she assumes that it has sin on it because a devil was wielding it. Maybe that's why she missed. She looked at the weapon. She was like, "Oh, never mind." And starts,
So he is pushed back into A6, up against the wall.
Hey, Matt, you're really quiet. I could barely hear you. What exactly happened?
I missed a lot.
With
Can you hear me
now? Is that the third 2 you've rolled?
Actually, it is.
I know.
I'm now putting the red 1d20 in timeout. The dice are. Yeah. All right.
But it is your turn now. Your turn, Sister Potiver.
He moved into A6.
Yes.
Is anybody still bound?
Yeah, I am.
Uriel, Lachlan, and Morocon. Only Gizik is unbound.
Well, I'm right next to Gizik. But nobody, like, all of our equipment is not with us, right?
Right. It's across the room. Uh-huh.
But he threw my sword on the floor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your sword's about. We'll put your sword in G14.
All right. Can I throw the sword at Anduriel and try to cut his bonds and maybe just scratch him a little?
I thought the female in our party who hit me with her weapons was not here right now. But sure.
Okay.
While in theory, I would say it's okay to go ahead and maybe gently toss your sword to Anduriel.
Anything's possible.
You've been rolling 2s.
What are you trying to say, Ben? You trying to say you don't think I can do this?
I'm trying to say you'll probably do it too well.
Okay, you can at least get the sword that far.
All right.
Right.
So first things
Who knows
first,
what'll
I'm
hit.
gonna use the virtue power to get myself 10 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
So with my minor action, she pulls her habit back on, straightens it, and makes the sign of the shield, and she glows with white holy radiance. And then she comes over to Anduriel into square E2.
That's a crate.
She moves insubstantially through.
So she starts climbing crates of ore.
And very concerned that no one's looking up her robe, she will climb. No, she moves to square 4D right in front of Gizik.
Okay.
And she will cut Anduriel's bonds with her standard action.
Okay.
And so she does that with her minor. There's her move, so I can't heal myself because I just virtued. And she comes over to Anduriel and with as efficient and practiced a strike as a paladin warrior would have, she says, "Now you hold still, and you should probably assume that this is a blessing of Bestera that you're being freed."
And Duriel's eyes get really big.
An attack roll. Okay.
You're attacking the rope, right? Oh.
I rolled a 1.
Gosh.
Do I cut the bonds and just keep going into him?
So in leaning back, you follow.
I think you successfully cut the bonds, but now you got to roll an attack roll against Anduriel and see if you cut him.
That one was much better.
Yeah, we don't want it to be better.
Yeah, of course it was.
Oh, that's bad.
That's a 25.
Okay.
Oh.
Guys, the paladin is cursed.
Roll damage and then half it.
Okay, well that's not too much. That's only 3 plus 6, 9. So half of 9 is 4. So 4 points of damage.
There you go.
You're supposed to cut through the rope, not his arm.
You bonds and you feel the blade slice up against your skin, like drawing blood.
What? Sorry, what was the damage on that again?
4. 4 points of slashing damage.
What in the name of Shadow mind your blade, sister?
You watch your mouth.
And then
Do you want to take your turn?
he turns. And he sees somebody bloodied. And he's like, he totally ignores what she just said. And he's laser focused on old Poopy Pants over there. Sunburn the Skin Devil. He's going to go over. Let's see. How many? 4 to B6.
Okay.
And use Blood Revelry.
Is that the one where you cover your face in his blood?
We're about to find out. So it's against, let's see here. Yeah, it's just versus AC. Ooh. So that is a 21.
Hit.
Okay. So I'll roll damage real quick and then we'll talk about it. So that is, oh crap. It's a weapon attack and I don't have my weapons, do I?
Nope.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
You can
should
use
be
an
like
unarmed
me.
attack if you want. I mean, you can just go over and start decking him.
Oh, we're gonna use no. We're gonna use Taste of Life
Okay.
because So let's try again. This is versus Fortitude.
You can keep the roll. You don't have to.
Oh, I can keep the roll.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, all right.
Excuse me, I shouldn't be making DM calls here. I apologize and cede the decision of whether or not he gets to keep that good roll to the actual DM.
Only Matt has to re-roll good rolls.
That's appropriate.
So that is 17 points of damage.
You tear him to pieces.
All right. So basically, Anduriel, again, he sees the blood, and tunes Sister Fadavir out, and as quick as you can think, he zips over all vampire style right next to the chain demon, and cranks his head. I told you so. And he goes in and just bites, and he bites so hard that it actually tears a big chunk out. So he's like nearly headless Nick, just and then the blood's coming out.
Oh, for the love!
Okay. So as this happens, he explodes in a cloud of ash. You actually take 5 points of fire damage as he explodes in ash, and there's this horrible smell of brimstone and ash. You're sitting there coughing it as his essence is returned to whatever hell he came from.
So you can't drain him. So I think you smoked him. Is what?
Yeah, you
happened.
smoked him. You buffied him. Yep,
Yeah.
you buffied him.
No, I think I think he's like, ooh.
Oh
Seared
yeah.
devil.
Does anyone have any potato chips? Rather snacky for some reason.
Okay.
Gizik, you're up.
All right, I'm going to scoot over to Lachlan and use my claw and start sawing through his rope.
Okay, very carefully. I much more carefully than.
It's not like an attack. I'm not swinging wildly at him. I'm just
He's an
scraping my
axe-hungry
claws
rope.
along the rope and
Hunger on
cutting
the rope.
through it.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so the old man would be back up to the top. The old man, he walks over to Morocon and slices his rope, and he as he's walking, he says, sorry about before. That's what it's like. Well, we can talk more later, but you better arm yourselves. Travers is going to be back any second. And
Oh, you've got a lot of explaining to do, man.
and you hear the outer door open as he manages to cut Morocon free.
Do we have time to gather our equipment, or
you'll have time for one more round of action because their round is to open the door and start to come in. You can hear him in that office up in the corner.
Okay, where is the box with our stuff?
It is B14.
Okay.
B as in boy?
D.
D, okay. Think.
So do we have time to run over and grab our stuff, or just grab one thing? Okay. All right, so tell us where we are now.
Good thing I don't carry anything.
Morocon, you are your stuff.
I am my stuff.
You are.
So we'll put Lachlan in E15, Sister Fadaver in E14, Gizik in E13, and Duriel in D15. The old man, whose name is Miggins, his last name is Miggins, moves over to be in square F12. Where do you want to be, Morocon?
I am going to be. Oh, I can only move so far. I'm going to be in G11, I guess.
Okay. All right. So at the start of that would take us to the start of the next round, long enough for
What's that guy's name? What's that old man's name?
Miggins. I know. Yeah, it's another M. That's it's his last name. And he does say you see him like start to crank his bow, and he's like, the name's Miggins. And then he reaches out and you like goes over and to touch very, very delicately touch Sister Fadaver's sword. Which sword are you going to be using?
She will sheathe her normal sword. If she can feel that this is a +2 weapon and it's better, she'll sheathe her normal sword and just hold
that one.
Yeah, stand at the ready with the other one.
Okay, so he touches the edge of the blade, and you see it flare with radiance. So you're gonna do a +5 radiant damage on every hit.
All right, he does that, and she looks at him and she says, "Well, I've seen you do that before. You realize impersonating a paladin is a crime in the Adari Republic? I think. I know it's a sin."
Oh, bye. Who cares?
So that is his minor action, and then he readies an action. He just holds his bow up, pointed at the top of the stairs, and in comes a minor.
Like hi ho, hi ho.
Not a dwarf.
Okay.
Like a minor or like a minor?
Some underage,
like a 14-year-old.
Both, baby.
Can you give me
Like a
some smoke, you guys?
14-year-old? Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so obnoxious. Okay.
Sorry.
No, this guy comes in and he's wearing what are those things called, like a bandolo, you know, like across his chest, and he has some sort of grenade-looking thing.
Bandolier?
A bandolier.
Bandolier.
What am I thinking?
A banjo? I'm not sure.
Bolo tie?
I'm not sure.
I just didn't want to say sash. It's not a sash. He has a diagonal belt across his neck.
Like a Wookiee.
Okay.
Like a sash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a war pick, like a big old huge pick. You can tell that's not for mining, that's for cracking skulls, across his back. And in his hand he has what looks like some sort of like Molotov cocktail that is just a canister with a flaming rag sticking out of it. He steps to square D21. Oh no, sorry, that's wrong. It would be E20. Okay.
Just at the top of the stairs?
At the top of the stairs. So Miggins' readied action goes off, and he fires his weapon at him. And he hits. Does 14 points of damage. And as he fires this bow, there's a bright red energy that goes sliding out from the bow, and it's like it wraps around your weapon. So Anduriel, you feel it. It's sitting on your dagger and on your kukri. It's on Lachlan's sword. It's on the great. So it's everywhere, just kind of clinging to it. So whatever he's done has the side effect of doing something to everybody's weapon. Something good. But
that's my fists.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So this guy gets shot with the bow, and he knocks back into the wall, and he takes that flaming pitch and the little Molotov cocktail. He goes to throw it, and then he second guesses and takes one of the bombs off his chest and hucks that instead. And he's going to throw that bomb into square F13, and it can have a possibility of hitting Miggins, Gizik, and Sister Fadaver.
Can I just baseball bat that thing back at him?
That would be very cool. But I think that would just make it explode.
Probably kill Anduriel if I did that.
Against Sister Fadaver, that's a 24 versus reflex. Against Gizik, that's a 19 versus reflex.
Oh, that'll hit.
And a 19 versus Miggins, which is a miss. So it does 13 points of damage. And you are, Gizik, you are pushed into square D11. Sister Fadaver, you are shoved into that crate, and both of you are knocked prone. So you stay in your square, but you are slammed by concussive force as this bomb goes off. So he hucks a bomb. It explodes. Miggins manages to duck a little bit, and the blast doesn't seem to damage him. And but you guys are knocked back and knocked prone.
How much damage do we take?
You take, we take 14.
Well, there go all my temporary hit points.
Good thing you got them.
So
are you forcing me to look on the bright side, Benjamin? Is that what you're doing here? Did you just Pollyanna me?
Well, I am brighter than everybody else, so.
Okay. Now, bad news. Another guy dressed similarly comes and moves to square D17, which is up on that platform, up on the sort of the catwalk, and he's going to throw a bomb as well. And he can hit the most people, but if he throws it right at Lachlan. So he just lobs this sucker right over the edge. And, it's fun to throw bombs. So he's got a little bit of a grin that you can see behind this shaggy beard, soot-stained. Now, one thing about these guys, they look manic, okay? They look like they haven't bathed in several days, maybe longer. Hair is just... dried out and scraggly, beards all over the place. Their clothing has little char marks on them. Unlike Travers, that looked like he was dressed to the nines, very clean and everything. These guys look like they just came out of the mines and had been down there a bit too long. Okay?
So you're saying he kind of looks like the bomb guy off of Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes, or maybe the Kelsey Grammer when he plays that character in Toy Story.
Oh, they're
Stinky
Prospector Pete? Stinky Pete. Yeah.
Yes.
Tarnation.
So here goes an iron bomb at Sister Fadaver, Lachlan, and Anduriel. Sister Fadaver, that's a 26. Anduriel 24, and Lachlan 11.
I would like you to just roll anything under a 20 this evening.
I rolled an 11 on me.
Yes.
Ooh.
Of course you did.
But that is
Hey, I'm just happy he's missing me.
17 points of damage. Anduriel, you are pushed and knocked prone into square B15.
They're just hucking bombs.
Yes.
Yeah, they were the mining guild, not the explosives guild.
Well, miners use explosives,
Apparently. And everybody gets some. This is an awesome mining guild. 7 dwarves on crack.
Stinky
Okay.
pig.
Morukan, you're up.
I hope. So, so this door, this huge door in A8, 9, and 10,
Huh?
is that open? Does that like lead into the mountain, or is that like an escape out?
No, that's like we're in Winter Run. We're in a warehouse in Winter Run, so it doesn't lead into a mountain or anything. It just leads into the street. But it is shut and locked. You know, they don't want people stealing their stuff. You could go over and unbar it to get it, but it's barred from the inside.
I would like to go open that door.
Okay. Which square do you want to be in? 8, 9, or 10?
Yeah, B9's fine.
A9?
B9.
That would be 5 feet away, unless you've grown very long arms.
Then I'll go to A9 then. Sorry, I thought the door was in A9.
So you go over, throw off the bar, and you want to slide that big door open.
I am going to open that sucker up.
Okay. It's open. You still have a minor action?
You want our escape? Here's the way out.
I'm not sure I can really do anything else because there's no enemies or anybody nearby, right?
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to have to stay put for a bit.
Okay.
My next turn.
Lachlan is going to use Majestic Word on Sister Faudebear since she got hit with 2 of those bombs. So you spend a surge and regain 4 additional hit points.
Yay.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Up to 30.
He slides you into square G15. So you're still prone, but I wish he could like lift you up. But so he looks over and he says, "Don't worry, sister. Sindel's got your back." and then he kind of waves his hand, and you feel this tug of energy pull you over away, and whether out of irritation or holiness, you just feel a little better.
I feel like that still qualifies as touching, and I'm offended. So I think she probably shrieks like while she's being dragged across the floor by your magic.
Well, then with his standard action, he looks up at the demolitionist at the top of those stairs, and he holds out his hand and says, "Lady Trueheart, shatter his heart on the altar of your scorn." And he's going to channel divinity at this sucker, and that's a hit. And he's at the top of the stairs.
Nice.
What happens when you're pulled 5 knocked prone? So
he kamikazes off
he
the stairs.
goes,
I love you!
Does that mean you get to roll double damage?
Well, I'm thinking, he's definitely not an acrobat. So he goes scrambling down the stairs, trips and whatever. But he is right in front of Lachlan in square E16, getting ready to just plead forgiveness and confess his undying love. And I still have a move. I think with the move, he's going to also use virtue on himself to get himself some temporary hit points. So his is a rosy glow, and you just hear him faintly say, "Sindel, watch over us." And now in come the miners. Not the demolitionists, but the actual miners. So these guys come through.
Short?
What?
Are they
No,
7? Are they short?
There are not 7. They are not dwarfs. There are only.
I hope.
There are but 2, but they come through holding their picks. Yes, I know. But these guys, as they come through, same kind of disheveled look. But you notice as they come busting in here, they're moving a little too fast. You know, kind of like the zombies in those movies where they like run all gangly.
Like World War Z.
Yeah, World War Z zombies. So they come staggering in with these things. Their eyes are completely black, and they are making a wheezing sound with their breath, like they've got pneumonia. Okay, and they just come bustling in.
On my turn, I'm going to search my healer's pouch for asthma medication.
You're like, do you need some albuterol? I have that power.
Got some Alliapent in here, something like.
Common side effect of smoking devils.
So one of them moves to square F16, and the other moves to G16. And they are, one is going to smash into Lachlan, and the other is going to take advantage of Sister Faudever being on her tuchus and come at her with a miner's pick.
He's going to take advantage of Sister Faudever.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say F16 and G16?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Mr. Faudever's in 14.
Yeah.
E14.
I'm
I
in
have her in
G15.
G15.
I'm in
I have her
G15.
in, I have her in 15.
Okay.
Yeah, G15. Sorry. All right. So Sister Faudever. 25. I'm sorry.
You never
Let's
miss.
see. 15 points of damage. So he takes this big old pick, and these are miner's pick. This is not a. This is like dirty, ore stained, partly rusted, and yeah, you're gonna need your tetanus shot after this one.
Not
And
even
he comes
sanitary.
up- It's a your armor's thick enough that there's a that it doesn't actually like plow right through your femur, but you feel bone or metal on bone as it goes partially into your leg.
Right.
It is a horrible throbbing pain.
She screams out in pain and disbelief and violation.
All right, and the other one on Lachlan got an 18, which is a miss. See, I miss sometimes.
Not
On
me.
Lachlan, you missed. You missed
You
on
missed
Lachlan.
your own character. That's all right. That's all right. I this is
Okay,
fine.
and in walks Guildmaster Travers.
Oh,
Good
my God.
grief. They're stacking the deck, aren't they?
And he's
are.
actually got a bazooka, and he aimed it at Mr. Faudever.
A bazooka made of pickaxes, and these ones.
Yeah. He's gonna scorpion me. Get over here with a pickaxe on a chain.
No, he comes in and immediately he looks like, instead of the composed Guildmaster, he looks incensed, and you see spectral chains going out from him, like 3 squares out. He has this aura of chains, and he's carrying his toy, which is a very large spiked chain.
Hookah.
No bazooka, just a spiked chain.
I thought you said a hookah. He's like,
He moves to the bottom of the stairs in square E17.
E17?
E17, correct.
Okay.
And he looks at Lachlan, and he starts swinging it around, almost like a lasso.
rolls a one.
But he just starts swinging it and speaking in some horrible infernal language. And that's a 19 versus will. My will is a 20.
I would
not
like to roll all of Guildmaster Travers' attacks on you.
No, I want Lachlan to stay very alive. So this is great. It's just ironic.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just thickly. That's fine.
So he starts saying this horrible thing, and Lachlan just looks at him and he says, "Not today." And he's just like completely focused. He's ready to throw it off with his racial power if he has to, but it just completely blocks his will. Hey, I took superior will. I am superior.
Yes. Yeah. No, you're absolutely fabulous. I'm sure. You sparkle more than Enduriel does, I'm sure.
That's
That's just a glitter lotion.
Yeah, it's just his glitter.
Yeah.
Body glitter.
It's body glitter. He's got cherry flavor.
For every battle.
Yeah. As a minor action, he would like to vogue for temporary hit points.
Okay, and Morocon, you are. Oh, you're all by the door.
It's my
Okay,
turn
but-
now.
Nope. Since that didn't work, he's still going to use his minor action, and he's going to use his minor action against Anduriel.
His minor action or his minor action?
Oh, it's another 19 versus Will.
Ah, you missed.
He missed.
Oh!
Hey, there you go. So
Ha
he turns to you, and he glares, and he holds out his hand like he's holding the chain with one hand, and you can tell it's like he's trying to force some kind of force his way into your mind. The hand is just like an effect, but you feel it and throw it off.
Is
He's
it
trying
like
to
like a spectral hand almost that comes across?
it's to you what you see is that it's almost a visible thing that you see it as if he's trying to come into your head.
And so Anduriel's gonna see that coming and be like, Naylock, protect my mind. And a little shadow kind of comes up and just misdirects it.
Okay, he snarls, like actually like animal-like snarls. He just missed twice. That's irritating.
He snarls like a player who misses his attack.
Yeah. Yeah. He hates that. And so he hates it bad enough, he's gonna waste his action point. Well, he's gonna use it.
Yes.
So he takes his chains and he swings it like this, and for a second it looks like he's throwing his chains at you, but it's a spectral chain that goes flying through the air at you, Anduriel. This is a 16 versus Will. Another miss. So the chains come at you and they just like wash right through you. It's like it doesn't matter that it touches you, it doesn't affect your will, you just throw it off. And then there's this like he stomps his foot and he's like, kill him! Look, yeah. This is not going very well. Sister Pot of Air.
While I'm on the floor,
Yeah.
Might want to get up.
really annoying. So, how badly hurt is everybody? Has everybody been hit several times?
Not me.
Yeah. I'm down about 20, 25 hit points.
I was trying to aid our escape.
All right, there's a demolitionist ahead of me, in front of me, right?
Well, there are two right adjacent to, yes.
Okay. Well, all right then. So, a couple things. The first thing I think I'm going to do is get up off the floor. So I think, and since she's not the graceful fighter that everybody else is, she's not some flipping vampire or some kind of kip up monk or whatever. So I think her getting up is she, lifts up her voluminous robe enough to get up and plants her two-handled battle sword. And as he swings for her, she just kind of goes king with it, like facing the blade facing down, and then uses the blade to get up. And then she rights the blade. And so that's her move action to get up. And with her minor action, she is going to slap a lay on hands on herself. And ask for Bestera to heal her, which will bring me up to 19. Bring me up to 34. So that's my move and my minor. How many hit points does this guy have? Does he look like a daily would take him out?
Well, the minors haven't been touched, so.
All right, I'm going to use self-righteous smite because it's really beneficial to my allies. So, what is his armor class? Yes. Well, everybody else who takes this power, it's called righteous smite, but when she uses it, it's called self-righteous smite.
So, what do you need?
I'm pretty sure I got him. 16 plus the 27.
Yeah.
Is his AC higher than? Okay. So she hits him with Self-Righteous Smite. It's 2 weapon damage, which for me is 4d6 plus 6. Oh, 3 ones. Lovely. So 8 plus 6. So he takes 14 points of damage. And every ally within 5 squares of me gets 9 temporary hit points.
Oh, so not
Yay.
So it's
okay.
Did you add the 5 radiant?
No, I did not. So
Okay.
19 points of damage.
Okay. So this is strange. When you hit him, I mean, it's a solid hit. It would have been a solid hit on an ogre. But as you hit him, it's as if you're swinging through. You're expecting to hit resistance, and it cuts through almost like a lightsaber. Like you feel it just rip through him, and he screams, but it's the radiant just kind of sears right through him. Not like, hey, I'm vulnerable to radiant, but almost like a divine force is pushing with you. Like an angel just went a little bit more, and
Okay.
and he actually takes double damage. He takes 38 points of damage instead.
Oh.
And he is bloodied.
Oh. Why? Did my sword like convert it to divine damage or something? Or
No, you feel possessed is the wrong word, because that would feel dirty.
let me make a knowledge religion check to see how astutely I can. Unfortunately, that's only a 15.
Well, Mr. Midget, like touched your sword, so
He did, but this almost the thing that comes to mind is because it's you, Bestera's got your back.
Yes, of course she does. Please. Got my back. She's probably like in the corner with pom poms going like, okay. I'm gonna use my action point too because I'm irritated.
Okay.
Dang it, Moral Con, I wish you weren't so far away, but I'm gonna channel divinity because I can. So she lifts up her sword after she slashes him. She lifts up her sword and says, Our Lady of Healing, grant me the power of the 7 marchers. St. Bridget, St. Charlotte, St. Teresa. And every time she shouts one, this little bolt of light strikes one of her companions. Everybody heals a surge plus 7.
okay, I don't need any healing anyway.
That'll do.
And that is the end of Sister Faudever's turn.
Well, and Duriel, you're up.
Okay. And Hero's going to stand up. He's going to be smirking the whole time. Looking right at Mr. Travers, right? The Travers?
Yep.
So standing up, and then I think it's time. I can use Shawarma.
Swarm of shadows. Yeah.
I can use Shawarma. You guys ever Shawarma?
I hear there's
I
a
thought
good
you were
place
just-
around the corner.
I thought you were just switching to the
Armor
Sean Connery accent instead of.
Are you stopping in the middle of battle to do drugs? Is that what's going on
I'm
here?
going to use Shawarma Shadows.
Okay.
Shawarma Shadows.
Is that what the kids are calling it on the street?
That's a blast 3, correct?
Correct.
So you can hit both Demolitionists and Travers.
Yeah, yeah, right there. Bam.
Poor Travers.
No, not poor Travers. Okay, this is versus Fortitude.
Well, he is possessed.
Against Travers?
Yeah, whoever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 3. Oh, I have a ring.
Roll
It
5.
lets me roll twice on my first attack of each enemy that I take. Okay. Oh, very good. So that's 17 plus.
Plus sufficient.
Okay.
And against the
Plus-
Demolitionists, their fortitude is 17 each.
So that is 18 and 20.
So
Ooh.
three solid hits.
Okay. Let me roll the old damageito here. And this is a vampire power. So I'm going to use Blood Drinker as well. Add 1d10 worth of damage. All right, so it's 10, 14, 17, 18, 19. 19 damage plus my bonus. 28 points of damage.
28, and the one on the floor takes an additional 5 because he's vulnerable from Lachlan's channel divinity, so he takes 33. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So what happens is Anduriel stands up and he again is smirking the whole time. He looks over at Travers. It's like, you picked the wrong party. You picked the wrong group. Naylock, hide my attack. Hide my advance. Hide this destruction. And all of a sudden, he goes insubstantial, and you just see this cloud, this dark cloud, expand and go over Travers and the two miners, and you start to hear them from within start screaming. And people on the periphery, like Sister Vadavir and Lachlan, you get little specks of blood coming on you from here and there.
Oh!
You can hear ripping and tearing and screaming, and then it all kind of settles down, but Anduriel's nowhere to be seen. He is gone. Invisible.
Where do you want to end Invisible?
I'm going to end in 17F.
Okay.
So they take ongoing damage 5, save ends as well.
Do we know where you're at? You're invisible. All right.
I'm invisible.
Okay.
Very nice.
Gizik.
All right. I'm going to move up.
Let Ryan roll for you.
I'll move between Lachlan and Vadavir.
Okay.
Try to bewitch Travers. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
If you let me roll for you,
I will not even report that roll. It couldn't be any worse.
Is it a critical fail?
Yes, it is.
Oh, bummer.
All right, so then after I fail to even try to bewitch Travers, I'm going to just let out this bestial roar, and it's a psychic attack against everybody in front of me, basically. Blast
including
5.
invisible Anduriel, huh?
I don't know he's there.
True. It's true.
I just see this huge array of enemies in front of me.
Yeah.
Are you still insubstantial as well, or just invisible?
I'm invisible.
So what are you rolling against?
This is against Will.
Okay, the miner's will is 15.
Oh, poor miners. We're looking at a basic first grade education. That's not. Come on now.
What kind of? Oh yeah, never mind.
So then I have to roll 4s against them. All right, so on the first miner, that's 15.
Yes.
Plus my,
Okay.
plus 9. So that's 24. 28.
Okay.
And
The demolition
23.
is 18, so hit and
So that should hit all the demolitionists, and then against Travers,
21
Big money.
13.
total.
Yeah. And
That was against Anduriel, right?
no.
Don't tell me you rolled a 20.
I rolled a 20. Let me not back this up. My second 20 of the night on the backup roll.
What?
You 20 with a 20?
You backed up a 20 with a 20?
Yes.
That means you have to roll a die 4, and if a 3 or 4, and he's 0.
Wait,
Or is it a
what?
D6?
Yeah.
When you back up a 20 with a 20 on our instant crit roll, you roll the 1 die 4 instead of the 1 die 6.
I didn't know that rule.
Well, show it on the camera. I want to see the 3 and 4 as you kill our companion.
Oh
Good
my
grief.
gosh.
Oh my gosh! Don't do it.
Oh, the hazards of
you
being
wanna-
invisible.
I'm gonna try and my camera doesn't really want to move.
I
That's
trust you.
okay.
You got a 4, right?
It's all right.
I got a 4.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well,
Oh boy.
let me roll the damage for the miners at least.
So my corpse
Oh.
becomes visible on the next turn.
What power are you using? What's it called?
Roar of Terror. It's my new level 5 daily. Okay, so
He
that's
scared you to death. He scared you to death.
so against the 3 miners, that is 8 psychic damage, and their dazed save ends.
You shot the invisible swordsman.
I
You were
would also,
supposed to shoot up.
I'd also like to point out that I'm pretty sure everybody in the tri-state area now knows we're here.
Yeah, I can't see that not being pretty awful. Although it is psychic damage, so it could just be rawr.
And it's just like echoing in their heads. They just can't get it out of their head.
Pretty sure you roared. And poor Anduriel, he was offended. He's like, "Did you just speak that way to me?" Because
Oh.
So, someone's making death saving throws.
that's okay. I got you. I'll have you up before your next turn.
I'm
Sorry about
invisible.
that.
You're only
Hey.
invisible for a while, though.
So how does that work? I
It-
just died. Am I still invisible till my next turn?
Till the end of your next turn.
Yeah.
Then you'll
Beginning of my next
you'll-
turn, right?
yeah.
My
Okay.
corpse.
Well,
Well, that was my not so great turn.
Well, it was very effective.
okay.
Just do me a favor and try and look sad when my corpse appears at the beginning of my next turn.
You do that.
Oh, well, that sucks.
All right. It's back up to the top with our friendly Mr. Miggins. He is going to. So, who are you hurt, Sister Fadaver?
Ish, yeah. I'm down from 48 to 34, so yes, I'm hurt.
Not as bad as Anduriel.
Okay. He uses healing word, which surprises you. Yeah, that we saw him use some sort of healing infusion in the last battle, but he actually looks over at you, and he says, "You hear him just kind of under his breath say, Vestera, watch you, my daughter." And he throws out his hands. Just you hear Vestera's voice, and you're like, "Oh, he's a worshiper," and you get surge +8.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that brings me up to full. So a very
Okay.
familiar healing power washes over her,
Yes.
and she looks back at him. Her jaw drops, and she goes, "You're gonna get excommunicated for this."
Okay, and then he is going to he's going to fire his weapon, and he fires it at the miner in front of Sister Fadaver, miner 1, and he hits it, and it is a solid hit. It's like a just up the side of the center of his throat. Hits it, it goes right through, and the guy gurgles and falls down. And when he falls down, he, like, a body that hits is going to make a thud. His sounds more gushy, for lack of a better word. Like, it hits, and there's sort of this as kind of whatever's inside him seems to settle. But yeah, the minor 1 he's no more.
Dropped like a hefty bag of vegetable soup.
Yep. And now it would be our couple of demolitionists. They demolitionist 1, who's right in front of Lachlan. He at the start of his turn, bleeds out from the shadows that have ripped him, and you actually see shadows kind of lingering as the wounds open a little more. It bleeds out, and he starts to fall, and you can tell his like eyes are rolling back in his head, and he just barely has enough time to pull one of the bombs, and it goes off right at his feet. The interesting thing about that is it affects everybody in the burst. So that would be Travers, the other miner, Lachlan, and Gizik.
And
So
Enduriel?
against pardon?
Does it hit Enduriel too?
Oh yeah, it can hit Enduriel.
I got no points left.
You
max
can go
damage.
negative. You can go negative. But we'll do Enduriel first. So that's a 14 versus reflex. So
No, miss.
the concussion's above your head because you're
Dead.
on the floor.
So
He
tell
is
me
the
what-
most agile corpse you've ever
yeah,
seen.
tell me what the reflex is of a dead player.
Hey,
It's like Weekend at
I
Bernie's.
know. But he's a vampire, so he's already dead. So it's okay. Yeah.
That is the
Gizik,
nice thing about grenades and stuff. They kind of go upward as they explode.
That's a 1 on you, Gizik. Miss.
Yay.
He's only mostly dead.
Against Lachlan is an 18 versus reflex, which is a hit. Against,
There it is.
The miner, that's a 24. Against Travers is 27. So the damage is 2d6 plus 5. So he explodes, and Lachlan gets knocked back into E13 and is knocked prone. There's now a body sitting in E16 from a dead demolitionist, and
Is
that
there?
other miner,
Or are there pieces of a dead demolitionist scattered around the room?
yeah, it's like
Gross.
yeah, it pieces. The other miner is knocked into square H16, and Travers is knocked into the stairs on E19. So he gets actually blown off his feet up the stairs, and takes a fair amount of damage. Now that
Now, there's still one other demolitionist that's up on the top, right? In
Right.
D16.
Yep.
Okay.
yep,
He's
so
unaffected by that blast.
it's only a blast 1, and he's actually 3 squares up, so
Okay.
he's out of that area. But the one up there, additionally, he still takes the ongoing damage from Enduriel's attack, and he is dazed. He used his bomb, but he's able to recharge it, and so you see he takes the bomb, and you see him start to shove it in. He takes his minor action to shove a bunch of stuff into the bomb, lights it, and it's going to blow up a little bigger. So he's going to chuck it into square F13, and it will be a burst 2, and can maybe hit Lachlan, Miggins, Gizik, and Sister Faudever. So against Miggin, roll the 3 and missed. Against Lachlan, roll the 2 and missed. Against Gizik, roll the 6. That's 15 versus reflex.
That hits.
Oh, that's too bad. And
My
against-
reflex is 13.
Okay, so you need to I don't know, do some stretches or something. And
I'm big and slow.
You need
Sister
to do
Faudever.
stretches.
Sister Faudever, that's a 2 plus 9 is 11.
Miss.
So only Gizik. Hey, come on, the misses are balancing out here.
I picture Gizik threw himself on the bomb. That's what I think happened.
This thing chucks. Gizik's like, "Erp."
Or did he eat it? Was he like, oh? Something like that? I'm not sure.
So 13 points of damage, Gizik, and you're knocked into square F16 and prone. So there's all kinds of explosions going on. It's horrible. Morocon, you're up.
There we go. Okay. So, how tall are these crates in between me and the rest of the group?
The green crates are 2 squares high. The yellow crates are 1 square high.
Okay, so I would like to. Okay. Crap, there's really not a lot I can do. I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to hop up on top of the crates then in to C14.
Okay.
Do I need to roll an athletics check, or can I just hop up there?
Yeah, it's not hard to climb them, so just don't roll like a 1 or something.
Right. Okay. How about an 18?
That'll do.
Okay, good. So it's not particularly a great roll. All right. So I'm going to shout over as I open up the door. Be like, guys, we wanted to escape, right? We've got this. Let's go. Then I hear Gizik shout. I hear a couple of explosions, and because I can't really see over those crates of what's going on.
Yeah, a couple. It's like freaking 4th of July there. Bang, 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 pop.
So I'm like, oh, okay, let's see what's going on. So I scramble over, hop up on top of the crates, and I see a lot of bedlam and a lot of people laying prone. So if I were to breathe, do dragon breath, can I hit? Am I within range of that guy that's on the
ledge?
On top? Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
All right. Well then, let's do this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look down and see all this bedlam and everything around me, and just and I see one guy that's in range. And I see Guildmaster Travers down there, and I start to get really upset. So I take my aggression out on one guy that's in range as I roll a 19 versus reflex.
That'll hit.
Oh, good. And I'm looking around, and I scramble, and I see one guy that's within range, and as I blow a 6 fire damage at this guy.
So you breathe this flame on him, and it actually catches one of the bombs, and the bomb blows him up.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no one else to be subjected to this burst 1 explosion, but he looks up at you, and you see his eyes go big as this huge gout of flame just engulfs him, and then there's this boom, and bits of him go flying all over the ledge. Yeah, if this is one of the Miners Guild's warehouses, they're gonna need a specialized cleaning crew, PSI.
Yeah.
So you still have a standard action, my friend. You moved, you minored.
I am going to stay put for the moment.
Okay.
There's still one more miner that's still
over
up,
by
yes?
Sister Potterbear. Yep.
Okay.
All right, Lachlan stands up, and he says to Gizik in your mind, Gizik. Lachlan says, "Remember, you're the only one who can get the devil out of Travers. Use your power." And then with his standard action, he's going to use, I think he's going to use his level 5 daily as well. Oh, there's no one close enough to use it on. Never mind. He's going to use Blunder, and he'll use Blunder on the miner. Ooh, that's a solid hit, and he does 11 points of damage. So he looks over at that miner and he says, "Sister Potterbear, on your left." And then he starts moving his fingers as the guy is like, oh, and he starts spinning around like, where's it coming? And you can take a free attack with a +3.
Is this against Guildmaster Travers?
No, this is against the miner. The miner
The
too.
last miner.
Oh, the miner, not the demolitionist. Sorry.
Yep.
There have been quite a few explosions here.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not bad. That's a 25.
Hit.
Okay. Ooh, 9 plus 6. Is he bloodied? Oh no, wait, I'm not using my other sword. Never mind. So that's 9 plus 6, 15 points of damage.
Okay. Is your melee basic a true melee basic, or is it a power?
No, it's a melee basic.
So how much damage?
15 points of damage.
Plus 5 radiant, so 20.
So 20, yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So he goes stumbling past her, and she takes advantage. She does a big old upswing cut, and just very, very true to form, swings like a friggin' Casey at the bat.
So he'll actually move him into square F14. So this guy goes dancing past Sister Fadaver as she just slices him up, and then ends his turn right being flanked by Lachlan and Sister Fadaver. And now it would be the miner's turn. Okay, this miner, he starts to hack and cough, like puts his head down and goes, and you see gas and little bits of what look kind of like ash go spewing out from him in a burst.
Did he just acid reflux us?
Gas doesn't come out of your mouth.
Sister Fadaver, that's a 13 versus Fortitude.
Miss.
And a 12 versus Lachlan. Miss. So
you missed.
The so we both are like I mean, like cover our mouth and kind of wave our hand to get it to go away.
I think he opens his mouth and she flings Mentos just in time. Like, whoa! The fresh maker.
The fresh maker. Yeah. So
she's always got some like in the little pocket of the hilt of her sword. You know,
You can't be doling out blessings with bad breath, so she's got to have a tic tac on hand.
You got to be ready for an anointing at any time. So,
all right. So, Guildmaster Travers, on his turn, he is going to use reckless arrogance against Sister Fadaver.
Oh man!
26 versus Will.
Miss.
All right. You take a -2. You take a -2 penalty to Will until the end of the encounter.
Rude.
And your next standard action must be to perform an act of prowess against a DC 24.
An act of prowess?
Yep, you have to pick your ideal, your best skill, and show off. So, reckless arrogance. So, you feel him enter your head, and you get the sudden urge to perform. Like, not perform like sing, but you're thinking, what is your best skill?
Heal.
Yeah, so you're like, I am Dr. Fadaver, and I must show my skills. I must show the world how great I am.
I know exactly what she's going to do.
So he does that, and then with a minor action, and then he looks at Anduriel. Oh, Anduriel's still invisible, right?
I am invisible.
Yeah.
My corpse is invisible.
Invisidead.
So no, he's with his standard action, he's going to throw up his miner's pick. So he pulls off a pick. It's a smaller pick, and he just hucks it from the stairs across over at Lachlan. That's a really good hit. So Lachlan takes 17 points of damage and stays. So this picture, Fix-It Felix's hammer, picture that as a minor pick. So it's about that size, about one-handed. He looks over and he just chucks it. It looks really nice too, and it just end over end slams into Lachlan's head, and like blood pouring down the side of his head, and you can tell he is totally dazed.
It's probably right where they cut the hair too, huh?
Yeah. So, he's gonna have a scar there. He's gonna have to borrow Gizik's hat to cover that up for a while.
That's okay. Sister Fadaver is in like doctor mode, so she'll
Yes.
look at that and be like, "I can fix it."
No problem. Just a little Windex.
So
Yeah.
and lo and behold, it is Sister Fadaver's turn.
Okay. So what she had planned to do was to use her new daily power. But given that that's no longer an option, she looks at everybody else and she goes, wait, I know what will fix this, and reaches into her bag and goes, just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. And she's like, really? And then she's like, I can make it taste good. And she pulls out more, dumps some more sugar on it. She's like, Lachlan, this will protect you from social diseases. Here, you'll probably want more. And she reaches back down into her bag. She says, Anduriel, this will cut down on your cravings. And I've even got something to cover up that nasty. And she just starts flinging medicines all over the place, hucking them at you, and then stops after the end of her standard action.
Roll a skill check.
That is a 19
Total?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So because you weren't as great as you thought, you're actually going to take a -1 penalty to attack rolls to the end of the encounter as you feel. Yeah, sorry. You don't feel like you did a very good job. So you feel like you tried to perform and you had a little bit of performance anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's that she doesn't really feel like any of you deserve her medicine, and so her heart just wasn't in it.
Just wasn't. You tried the act of prowess and it just fell flat.
It's very embarrassing.
But you still have a move and a minor.
Oh, great! I'm so happy about that. Okay. Jeez, I can't see Anduriel, right?
Right.
No.
Well,
Or else you would have poured some medicine and sugar on my corpse.
We don't even know that you're hurt yet.
Wake up!
all right. I'm going to use Divine Challenge on Guildmaster Travers with my minor action.
Okay.
Because I want Gizik to have the chance, and I've got the most hit points, I'm sure, right now.
Okay.
So she's going to use Divine Challenge on him. She stops realizing what she's doing and quietly just stuffs her medicines back into her pouch, feeling kind of bad about it. And then she points to him, and she levels her sword, and she says, by the power of Destera, I announce you as sinner, and I command you to face me. And she holds her greatsword up like that, and he feels slightly compelled to face her in battle now. And is there anybody within touching range that I could heal?
Gizik.
I'm down by 4 hit points right now.
You don't deserve healing anyway, you party dropper. No, not we don't know that.
But he is prone, so if you can help him up, that would be great.
With my minor action, could I pull Gizik up?
I don't think so.
I don't think
It
so
seems like
either.
a standard.
Yeah.
Okay, in
Maybe a
that
feat of
case,
strength.
the demolitionist in front of me blew up, right?
Right. Well, there's a minor between you and Lachlan in F14.
Yeah, 14 now.
Okay. And where's Travers? He's in
D19 on the stairs, or excuse me, E19.
So I'll provoke an attack of opportunity if I move away from the minor, right?
Right.
All right, then I'm going to shift into square 16F.
Has that minor saved from being dazed?
Gizik is in
Oh.
16F.
Minor 2. No, he's dazed. You're not going to provoke an attack of opportunity. That's right.
All right, then I take the run action to get to Travers on the platform.
Okay. So you want to be in E18 on the
Yes.
stairs. Okay.
You don't even need to run for that.
Yeah. You can just hop over the corpses and the bits of human carnage.
Oh, she runs anyway.
She just really wants that penalty.
There is no reason to not get your steps in, okay?
All right, Anduriel, make a death save.
So my corpse shimmers into life, or into existence.
What square are you in, Anduriel?
17F. Right at Gizik's feet.
No, Anduriel, what happened to you?
My corpse points.
I think, wouldn't we all assume it was the bombs? I mean, honestly.
Probably, yeah. Not like this drawer that does like maximum 16 damage.
Okay, that's an 18 on my dice. I don't know what.
That's it. Yeah, you made the save. So you're just hoping for the 20 so you can spend a surge.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Gizik, you're up.
All right, well then I'll get up. If I stand next to the stairs, I should still be able to reach Travers, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll use an action point and I'll move next to Travers, so I'm standing adjacent to the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll reach up and like grab his ankle and say, "Sigrund, you vile crone, give me the strength of my enemy," and turn insubstantial and go into his space. And let's see. So this is wisdom versus will.
Don't miss. No
If
change.
he misses and tries to cast something out of Anduriel, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, this will not affect Anduriel. I rolled a 17 versus will.
Okay. That would not be good enough, but Lachlan is going to use Adept's Insight to grant you a +4, so you hit.
All right.
Nice.
Very nice.
So Lachlan shouts out, "Get him! Get out of him, Gizik! Get it out of him!"
Well, I will steal a surge from him, and I am basically possessing him now.
Okay, what's your charisma?
14.
Okay. Roll a charisma check, will you?
Let's try and get one that'll stay on the table.
Dice.
All
fall.
right, so
Okay.
19.
Oh, good. So
Wow.
he only got a 12. So from your perspective, you go into him, and usually you then see out of the creature you're inside. Instead, you feel like you're in a dark space, staring at a chain devil. Okay, and you guys start wrestling. Like inside, you feel yourself in a. It feels physical, like you are a physical wrestling match, and there's rolling around. All of this happens in the space of seconds, but for you, it feels like it goes on for several minutes as you are wrestling. He's got a little advantage, but overall, you take control of him, and it's really empowering because you get it to where you are pinning him on the ground, choking the life out of him.
Give him a chair.
While he's in there, and as you do that, there's this. What we see on the outside is Guildmaster Travers. That darkness around him just like fades off him, and he almost looks like he ages a good 5 or 6 years. And this thing comes flying out of him. It looks like an oversized imp, but it is grotesque. It is more. It's kind of like you know how Voldemort looks before they put him in the cauldron, like this little weird mat. But he's still like big sized, but he looks like this just mangled mess, and he's sitting like in the same square, but at the feet of Guildmaster Travers. And Guildmaster Travers would otherwise be unconscious, except that Gizik is inside him, manipulating him. So, Sister Faudever, you are able to look down, and this thing is right there. You with your sword, you just take a mighty swing and lop this thing off, and it like there's a sizzling sound as it gets sucked back to wherever it came from. Gizik, you can make Travers do whatever he wants. You can make him do a jig, but as soon as you pop out, he slumps to the ground, unconscious and wounded.
Well, her first action is always to heal. So if Anduriel pops up, then before she even considers doing that, she's going to heal him.
Yeah. Well, Lachlan would have his turn first. He runs over and actually uses Spirit of Sacrifice to heal.
Okay. Does he take an attack of opportunity because of the miner that's next to him?
The wizard, the Miggins finishes him off quite handily.
Okay.
So their bolts fly, miner drops, Lachlan moves over, heals Anduriel. Sister Faudever lops the head off this thing, and Gizik does a little jig in the body of Travers.
Okay. She lops its head off, and she goes, "Back to the darkness with you, with all evil creatures that come from it."
And so from the back, this Miggins he steps forward and he says, "I'm sorry I work for such a horrible person." He says, "I wish you the best of luck, and I know those things belong to the guildmaster, but he's got some nice gloves and some nice boots. I think you should probably help yourselves." And then he actually pulls out a little bag and sticks it in Sister Faudever's hands and says, "A peace offering. I'll try and keep a leash on Lady Everine." And then he just kind of walks out the door.
Okay, she's sputtering and just trying to find a scripture or call him to repentance or any number of things, and the only thing she manages to get out on the end of it is, "You go to church." That's all she gets out.
So that is where things end. There are some items to look through, and I'll send those out to the party. We're a little over time, but Guildmaster Travers has successfully been saved. But there is the bad news is that although this will help the economy and help restore some order to the town, about 2/3 of the ore that had been mined that could now otherwise be shipped is missing. And so wherever he, as a devil, has sent it, it can be used by bad guys somewhere else. So that's an unfortunate. The bad people. So, it's my turn for consider this, and so I wanted to share a little insight it's actually scripture, and it is in the book of John, chapter 8. There's one of my favorite stories is when the adulteress is brought to Jesus, a woman taken in adultery, and the Pharisees bring her in and are like, the law says we should stone her, but what do you say? And how Jesus totally ignores them, and when they persist, he looks up at him and just says, "He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her." And unfortunately, we live in a world where everybody wants to cast a stone at everybody else or every little thing. And a quote I love is "Don't judge me because I sin differently than you do." And I think that is good counsel. And the way Jesus just ignores those people itching to belittle and embarrass and humiliate this woman, and he just ignores it. And when they insist on a response, he gives one that is both loving to the woman and gently corrective of those Pharisees. And so I think that it's important that we consider our own weaknesses and not exploit the weaknesses of others to go around casting stones, even if they are real adulterers.
I like that. I really think that in light of what happened in the RPG community over this last week, that it's a message that's really taken, that it's well taken, I would say. I understand that there are a lot of people upset over Pro Jared and Holly Conrad and what they think happened. I don't think we know what happened yet. I mean, there's no proof that's been sent out over the internet of what has happened between the two of them. But I mean, it's been very traumatic for those of us who actually were part of the Dice Camera Action fan base, which in here it was just me and Jesse. Jesse's not with us anymore, but we both shared a big love of that show and of the characters. And there wouldn't be a Holy Rollerz if it weren't for Dice Camera Action. Watching them, enjoying them, loving the story and loving what they were doing and saying, you know what, we can do that. That's something that we can do. And we were inspired by their work. And to watch the internet just go on fire with not only condemnation without all the knowledge, but people that want a pound of flesh. And it just blows my mind how quickly the mob will turn on you. I've experienced this on the internet. I'm one of the very few conservatives and religious people in the D&D community. And if I express certain, opinions on Twitter, the mob just comes straight for you. So it's something that I think is very well taken, that it's a good idea to think about. I find it very interesting that Jesus doesn't condone what she does. He tells her, what man has condemned you? And she says, no one, Lord. And she says, neither do I condemn you. Because he could, because he had the right to judge if you believe in Jesus, and we do. And that being said, it's interesting to me that the one person, not only in that situation, but on the planet, who had the right to judge her, was more interested in her welfare and where she goes from here. And I think ultimately that when we see that as a parent, we're interested in the same things. If one of our kids messes up, we're less interested in the mistake they made and more interested in where do they go from here? How do we make sure that they're walking on a good path afterwards? And so, to those people who might hear this message or who might think about it, put down our stones, right? And why not instead say a prayer for Jared and Holly? I don't know what happened. I've got some good friends who actually are kind of closer to the situation. And from what I hear, it may not be what everybody thinks. So who knows? I mean, honestly, but that's my thought. Anybody else? You feel free to disagree with me. Throw your stones. It's not.
No stones here, bro. It's a good message. Thank you, Ryan. It's another example of the Savior being the perfect example of how we should handle a lot of different parts of our lives and how we handle our business. So I appreciate the reminder.
Well, thank you. We will have a special guest. What is our guest's name, Matt? Who will be joining us next week?
Her name is Lulu, and she is another Australian. We're very good with Australians for some reason. I don't know why. We got Poinketh and Scarlet Moth, and now we've got Lulu, who's going to be joining us next week. So that will be very fun. We're looking forward to having her with us.
And Matt will be back in the DM's chair, so I can focus on my beautiful, justice-loving paladin and get back to. Hopefully, I can roll as well.
Please continue rolling high.
Roll as well.
Real quick, 3 cheers for Ryan, everybody. He did a great job. I just want to.
Thank you.
Great job.
Recognizes Ryan did a great job.
Yep.
In spite
excited
of
to have
your
Matt back.
horrible rolls. Yes. Thank you.
Oh no, he did great in combat. There's no arguing. That was awesome. Yep. But we all hate her.
Everybody.
Yep. Good night.
Thanks, guys.